Things don't move by themselves. Your coffee cup is going to move by itself? No. When you pick it up, it will move. Who was moving them? That was the idea. So when we have to open our eyes and see what's going on in the world around us and take it into our mind what we're seeing. What are we looking at? We are looking at the greatness of Hashem. That Hashem, we can't see Hashem, but we can see that he does very great things that no one else can do. He moves the sun and the moon and the stars across the sky, hundreds of thousands of miles every single day at great speed. It takes a lot to get across, to travel such a tremendous distance every day. There's an English writer, a poet, and he said, well, he notes the contrast between seeing and not seeing. He said, some people see the sun as a small disk, no bigger than a dime. And when I look at the sun, I see a host of angels declaring, holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole world is full of his glory. I hope you understood what I said. You understand the English?
Yes.
A little bit. Poco.
80%. 80%. Not 100%.
Not 100%. So I'll say again, some people look at the sun and they see a small disk, shining disk about the size of a dime, maybe you said a farthing, English currency. I see a host of angels singing to Hashem, holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole world is full of his glory. So that's what we have to do every day. This is our first thing that we do in the day, is to behold the majesty of Hashem, which is everywhere on display in front of our eyes. And from that's what we're learning about in the Tanya. Now, the first thing that we do when we come to class is we have to remember our brothers and sisters who are suffering and going through terrible, difficult time in Israel, in Gaza. Many of them are not surviving. Unfortunately, many of them are suffering physically. Others are suffering emotionally. And praying for the return of their loved ones. But you know, it's interesting, the reports about the people who are being liberated, and those who did best of all, survived best, were the ones who were praying a lot to God when they were in captivity. One person said he was not religious at all, but in this dungeon where they had him, he was Israeli. He knew the words. He said Shema every day. He prayed to God every day. He survived. Okay, chapter 20 in Tehillim, Psalms of King David. Lam Natseya Mizmor David, Yancha Adonai B'Yem Tzara. Hashem should answer you on the day of your distress. Isagevcha Hashem Elohei Yankev, and should give support. Yishlach Esoha Mekadesh, he should send help from his holy chamber. Umitzion Yisadeka, and from Zion, that's to say from Jerusalem, he should send help. Yizkar Kol Min Chaysecha, he should recall your offerings, flower offerings, Vaylasacha, animal offerings, Yadash Nasela, they should be accepted graciously. When you bring an offering, you have to make a good decision for a good deed you're going to do. So he then says, Yiten lecha chilvavecha, Hashem should enable you in your heart to fulfill kol atzasacha yamale, to fulfill all your good decisions. See, it's one thing to make a good decision, it's another thing to keep it. Not everybody keeps, it's hard to keep your good decisions. Nuranana 6. Nuranana Bishuasecha, let us rejoice in your salvation, Hashem, V'Shem Eloheinu Nidgel, let us raise the banner of our God on high. Yamale Adonai Kol Mishalisecha, Hashem should fulfill all your heart's requests. Ata Yodaiti, now I know, Ki Heshia Adonai Mashiach, Hashem will save his anointed one. And we have to know that Hashem is going to save us too. Ya'anehu mishmei kodshe, he will answer him from his holy heavens. B'gevureis yesher yamine, with might and strength, from salvation from his right hand. Ele rechav ele vasusim, some people come with their chariots of war, their war machines, others with cavalry, horses and the modern day equivalents. V'anachnu b'shem Adonai Eloheinu nazkir, we come with the name of God on our lips. Hema karu v'nafalu, they slipped and fell and did not get up. V'anachnu kamnu v'niseidad, 3,500 years we are still proclaiming to the world that there is one invisible God of Israel. Adonai Heshia Melech Anenu Vim Karenu, Hashem is our King, he should deliver us on the day that we call. Tanya, we're in the middle of chapter 9. We have a whole meditation here. Chapter 9, like I was just saying, we have to look in the heavens and think about what we are seeing. We are really seeing, there's a very important theme in the Tanya, that a person every day has to think about the greatness of Hashem. That's the key. When a person feels uninspired, so the first thing he has to do is to think about the greatness of Hashem. How do you think about the greatness of Hashem? Look around you. Open your eyes. Last night I was walking home. I said to somebody, look at the... Look at the moon hanging in the sky. Saturday afternoon, Shabbos, I was coming home to make Kiddush, and there was a beautiful formation of clouds and a blue sky, sunny day. And there was a non-Jewish lady standing at the bus stop. I said to her, look. She didn't know what I was talking about. I said, look, isn't it? Look in the sky. Yes, she said, it's beautiful. She woke up. That's what we have to do. We have to wake up. And then what happens? How far did we get yesterday? Yeah, we're talking about the war between the godly soul and the animal soul, which are like two kings fighting over the city, control of the city. The city is your heart. And the goal is that of the godly soul, that it should control your heart and control your whole body. Your whole body should be 142. Turn to page 142. Here we go. The divine soul desires that the organs of the body, not just that it should understand godliness, but that it should permeate the whole of the being, and our physical organs should become a garment to express our wonder at the greatness of Hashem. And all of the 10 faculties should be working, those who say the 10 spheres, should be working through the 3 garments of the soul. What are the garments of the soul? What you think, what you say, and what you do. These are the clothing. This is the clothing that you wear in this world, and these things become the clothing for your soul in the world to come. In other words, you can't take your real estate with you or your investments in the stock market, but the good thoughts that you had and the good words that you said to other people and the good things that you did, they will go with you forever. And that the entire body, which is being motivated and influenced by these thoughts, will be permeated with them alone. That's the goal of the godly soul. Third paragraph, 142. No alien will be allowed across the border, will be allowed into this city, which is your heart, right? Mr. Trump is very big on that, not allowing illegal aliens into the country. I'm going to say a blessing. Now he spells it out. The three aspects of the brain, which is Chachma Bina Das. Chachma is where you get your inspiration, the thought lights up your brain, but you can't hold on to it. It's just a flash. What can you do with a flash? As soon as you see it, it's gone, right? Lightning, the room lights up, oh, it's gone. So if you get anything, any impression from it, you have to think about what that impression entailed. And that's all in Bina. That's in the left side of the brain. That's the area of analysis and measurement, weighing and understanding and comparing to other things. And from there, it comes into Das. Das is in the back of the brain. That's the point of connection that takes your thoughts down to your heart. And if Das doesn't work, Das means knowledge. It means a person can talk and talk and talk, and he doesn't know what he's talking about. Usually that means time. It's in the class. Anyway, welcome. So the Chachma Bina Das should be full, permeated with the influence of the divine soul. These organs should be vehicles, should be a chariot for the divine soul. Page 143. Namely, Bina means understanding God. Perceiving God is Chachma, understanding God is Bina, connecting to God is Das. Lisbainen meaning, now he spells it out, to think about the greatness of Hashem. How do you think about the greatness of Hashem? Think about your world, the world you live in. Think about, like we just spoke about the sun and the moon going in their orbits. The wonder of that. Think about the flowers. The temperature is going to go up 10 degrees. Today is a little warmer than yesterday. Tomorrow is going up to 50. A couple of days like that, you're going to see the flowers coming up. How do they know? How do they know? Just because the temperature changes a little bit? Who teaches them that it's time for them to sprout up and bring out leaves and start making energy by photosynthesis? How do they know? Lisbainen, you have to think about it. The Gedul law say think about the greatness of Hashem that informs them. An angel comes and informs them. Flowers, my dear flowers, it's time to wake up. Asher ad ein cheke ve'ein seif. And this power of Hashem is, the greatness of Hashem is without end. It's without end. Ulahoylid mehem, and from such thoughts to give birth, it will give birth al yadei hadas, through das. In other words, by connecting to these thoughts, connecting to this perception and this understanding, which is on the right and left sides of the brain, by connecting with das, using the quality of das, what happens? First of all, feelings are born, but in your mind, you don't have feelings. Now, he's going to reveal something very interesting. Psychologists may or may not be aware of this, but the Tanya writes about it. That before you could feel anything in your heart, you feel it as an idea that's a potential for feeling in your mind. You got it? Before you feel love or fear in your heart, there's an intellectual awareness that it would be appropriate to feel love and fear. That's the next step. And he says here in the third paragraph, 143, from this meditation, birth, things are born. Al Yedei Das, through Das. What's born? Fear of Hashem in your mind. And Pachad Avaya. Now, what's the difference between Yira and Pachad? Both terms in Hebrew mean fear. Yira is in your mind. Yiras Hashem is like an intellectual thing. Pachad Avaya is the feeling of anxiety in your heart. Pachad is in your heart. Yira is in your mind. At the end of this paragraph, these faculties of Chochmah and Bina, which are engaged in pondering the greatness of Hashem, they are thinking about the greatness of Hashem. This will give birth to a feeling of awe in your mind. Wow, what a great, wonderful Hashem we have. And the fear of God is in your heart that you don't want to mess up. You don't want to deviate. You don't want to go off the path and get lost somewhere in the woods. Like you go to Niagara Falls and you see the water pouring over at the edge of the escarpment, the falls, and it's absolutely overwhelmingly powerful, and you're going to take a walk. You're not going to want to stray from the safe areas. You're not going to want to go over the fence. So similarly, a person has awe of the greatness of Hashem, and you're not going to want to take one step outside of the safe zone, which is the zone of Torah and mitzvahs. Bottom of page 143. Ba'avas Hashem ke'esh bayara. So first of all, feeling this glimmer of love in your heart, it starts to grow. Like when you have a fire, so you fan the fire and the flame, and it gets bigger. So we have an eish ba'ara, a burning flame in your habalibai, kurish be'shalaheves, like fiery flashes, he translates it here. So the last paragraph, what is the feeling that's connected with this? Connected with this now is not just a feeling of warmth and love and fiery love in your heart, but when a person has such a love in his heart, then there comes with it a longing. The fiery flame of love creates a longing, a strong desire to be connected to Hashem. And a longing, v'chasheka, and a strong desire, v'chafetza, and something that you want very, very much, l'davka boy, to cling to Hashem, to be on His team, to be partners, to be connected, to be in the right place, to be doing the right thing. The Ein Sof Baruch Hu, to be connected to the infinite, blessed be He, b'chol leiv v'nefesh, with your whole heart, with all your heart and all your soul. So this is how it goes. First, we think, we look up, we meditate, we see the greatness of Hashem. We don't just see it as something that a cold-blooded observation, but we take it into our mind as something that's worthy of moving us. Like I saw a video yesterday, they were showing videos yesterday of when the Six-Day War, when the Jewish people drove out the Arabs from Jerusalem, and after years of not being allowed to even come and pray at the Western Wall, they came there the first time, and they had a person speaking to his family. So I'm going to the Western Wall now, I'm going to the Koisel now, and if that doesn't move you, nothing will. He's talked on the phone to somebody in America, an American guy, I guess. This goes back, 50 years. So I'm going to the Koisel now. If that doesn't move you, nothing will. So you have an idea of the greatness of Hashem in your mind, and it moves you. How does it move you? You have a feeling of love. I'm so grateful to Hashem. I feel tremendous inspiration and love of Hashem. And this is what happened. Thousands and thousands of people, all the Jews in the world, wanted to come to the Koisel to pray after it had been forbidden and impossible for thousands of years. 2,000 years. Kaisel, the holy wall of Jerusalem, the temple, was a garbage dump. A garbage dump. And this causes a person then to feel a warmth, like in his heart, like you're on flame. You're aflame with love for Hashem. It's a real love. And a thirst, a longing, and a desire to be connected, to be attached, to be one with Hashem. Turn the page. And you feel this with all your heart and all your soul and all your might. Like it says, V'ahavta es Hashem Elokecha, es Hashem Elokecha b'chol lavavcha, b'chol nafshecha, b'chol meodecha. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. How do you do that? How do you love something that's invisible? Because you see what Hashem does. You see the greatness of Hashem in the works of his creation. And this love will rise from the depths of the heart, from the right side of the heart. And the right side of the heart will not just feel love, like a superficial love, will feel a love in the depths of the heart. Mole, and the heart will be full of love, full. Mole v'godush, next step, after your heart is full of love, well, then what? Your heart can't hold it. It gets too big. It spills over into the left side of your heart. And the Yetzer Hara says, I'm getting out of here. The Yetzer Hara can't stay there. Because now this tremendous love is coming into the left side of your heart too. You see this tremendous and by detail analysis of a person's feelings of love. Bottom of page 144. Ad shetispashet gam lecholol hasmoli, until this feeling of love and inspiration spreads out even to the left side of the heart. Lakfir the Sitra Achra, and tells the Sitra Achra, you better get out of here. That's called kfir. The term is used in a derogatory sense in non-religious circles in Israel, like you tell a Reformed Jew who doesn't know about Shabbos that you can't drive on Shabbos, you can't cook on Shabbos. They say, don't tell me how to lead my life. That's called kfir. Don't force me. Kfir dati, they call it. Forcing your religion on somebody else. Well, here, he uses the same expression. Kfir la sitra achra. As the love spreads into the left side of the heart, the Yetzer Hara is subdued. Totally subdued. Out of the picture. That's the whole idea. That's what we're learning Tanya for. To be able to get to that I love Hashem not just in the right side of my heart, even in the left side of the heart, that your Yetzer Hara realizes, I better get with the program. This works. This makes sense. And the Yetzer Hara realizes that for its own benefit, it's just logical that it should also feel the same love as in the right side of your heart. Yisoid hamayim haraim shaba. Now, what is the Yetzer Hara? He tells you now, what is the Yetzer Hara that's being subdued? That is the element of water in the animal soul, which is the source of physical, sensual pleasures. Like Rabbi Gordon likes to say, in 7-layer cake. Well, you're not interested in 7-layer cake now. Your heart is interested in more refined, subtle, spiritual things that are more meaningful to be in love with them. Shehi hataiva shemi klippas noiga, because the taiva for physical, sensual pleasure is from the klippas. And a person who's overwhelmed with love of the majesty and the greatness of Hashem, he sees a host of angels crying, declaring, holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. He's not interested in getting drunk in a bar. He's not interested in pizza. He's not interested in latte. Say to a person who's in a state of inspiration like this, hey, how'd you like to go to the Fontainebleau in Florida, Miami? Great hotel. Have fun, great swimming pool, beach. Can lie in the sun and get a tan. No, the person's not interested. All these taivas for sensual pleasure are subdued. They're put down. They're pushed away. We put them in the dungeon. And so then what happens? Next step is, so the first step is kfiyah. The first step is that the love in your heart subdues the materialistic love in the left side of the heart. It subdues it. But then it doesn't stop there. Okamesha kasu. Page 145, second paragraph. L'shanesa, because then those feelings of desire for sensual pleasure get changed around. They get converted. They get changed. Lahavcha. So the first step is called kafiyah. The second step is called hafacha. Hafacha means to change. Change around. Like these days of Adar, the anxiety about Haman's wicked plans to destroy the Jewish people became totally turned around and became tremendous joy and rejoicing, the greatest joy and rejoicing of the whole year. That's called lahafoch, which is to change things around. So there's feelings of desiring material pleasures, wanting to have a big house and wanting to have 5 cars and wanting to have unlimited travel, so on. This all gets changed around from tainuga olam hazeh, from your desire to have experience the pleasures that the world has to offer, and instead you want to have love of Hashem. That's all I want. That's all I'm interested in, is love of Hashem. Kamesha kasu b'chol levavcha. We have a commandment in the Shema. You should love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your might. So the word there is with all your heart. Your heart is the word leiv. With your heart is b'leiv. Levavcha with an extra base says, it should be b'chol libecha. Why does it say b'chol levavcha? So the sages said, because the extra base there tells you that this love should be in both sides of your heart, the left side of the heart as well as the right side of the heart. Okay? And this is how it goes. Hainu. Shiyala v'yava v'yagia. Recognize the expression. It's from Reish Chodesh and Yontif, that these feelings should go up. He writes in the English here, the animal soul's desire for a love of God will rise up to a higher level of love than he experienced before this, which is called Ava Rabbah. Shiyala v'yave will go up and will come to experience the love v'yagia amadregas Ava Rabbah, great and overwhelming love. So not just it's a nice idea, I would like to love Hashem, I would certainly subscribe to this feeling and approve of it. No, we go much beyond that. This becomes a constant thing. I don't have to call on it, it's there. It's part of my being. The Chiba Yasera, an extra overwhelming love, much greater than the Ava Aza Karish Be'esh, than the love like flaming fire that we spoke about on the page before. In other words, the first level of love is after we perceive the greatness of Hashem, and we understand, perceiving it, that it's appropriate to feel a love of Hashem and to want to be connected with him and to desire to be connected with him. And this leads to a feeling of warmth and fiery warmth in your heart. That's called strong love. Now, once that love develops and grows and spills over, and the left side, you start feeling it in your left side of your heart, this is called a great love. which is far greater than the strong love, the fiery strong love we spoke about before. And we're just going to finish up with this on page 146. This is called Abba Tainugim. Tainug is not just a popular brand of kosher food. Tainug means delight. So this is a love which experiences the delight of being connected to Hashem. And it says this is Me'ein Olam Haba. This is how the neshamas feel when they get to Gan Eden. So in other words, it's a taste of Gan Eden here in this world. And that's what tzaddikim are all about. So the difference between ordinary people and tzaddikim is that we're talking here about a person who can get to this level in davening, a level of inspiration, or through the happiness of Purim, or through just Kabbalah's oil, taking upon oneself the yoke of service of God. That also leads to this. But this love of delight, that a person takes delight in being connected to Hashem, this is called Tainugim, love of Tainugim. That's something we can attain even a Beinoni can get to this level in his or her davening. Or in extenuating circumstances, like when you have really self-sacrifice to help a Jew who's in trouble, and you go all out, and you don't make any reckonings. If you just do everything that has to be done to help, then you can also get to this level of great, tremendous, overwhelming love. However, a Beinoni, after you daven, feeling goes away. At tzaddik, the feeling doesn't go away. That's the difference. For a Beinoni, you have to start all over again. Tomorrow, we have to start all over again and work his way up. Understand? Yeah? Good. This is an amazing chapter in the Tanya. The Alter Rebbe takes you step by step by step through these very subtle levels of feeling about Hashem. And without learning the Tanya, how is a person going to get there? How's a person going to know about this? And the Rebbe writes that we have a commandment. People say, why do I have to learn Hasidus? And the answer is because you have a commandment to love God. Hashem says, "V'ahavta es Hashem Elokecha." You should love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. How are you going to do that? Well, this is the formula. This is the step-by-step process that a person is capable, because you have a brain in your head, so you're capable of doing this. And even, it was a Goy who wrote, some people just see the sun as a small yellow disc the size of a dime, and I see a host of angels declaring, holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. A blessing, we have to remember to make a blessing after drinking. Al kol masha baras Allah hayes bahem nefesh kol chai baruch chai ha'elamim. Thank you very much. See you, Bezos Hashem. Tomorrow we'll finish the chapter. Thank you all for coming.
Yeah. No more y no tiene tren, para que no tomen barato el tren.